Hey guys, Ryan Steinolfson here. It's 2:00 on Wednesday, and I've got Heedley backstage to answer or to ask questions. She's going to ask some questions probably for her or about her business. So I am the founder of Accelerate Marketing. Accelerate Marketing is a digital marketing agency that's been around for the better part of 17 years, and we at Accelerate Marketing are we've been chosen or selected by Google to be partners on the Google Local Service Ads platform so that we can help businesses generate a constant stream of pre-qualified, pre-sold leads from the Google Local Service Ads platform. And we also help optimize businesses on the Google Business Profile platform. So if you're not familiar with those are the two sections of Google that show up at the very top of Google. The Google Local Service Ads is right at the top. It says sponsored businesses. And then below that is the maps. And that's the Google Business Profile. So we've been helping businesses with, show up there so that they can generate those pre-qualified, pre-sold leads, like I said, for the past 17 years. And we also, help convert those leads by giving you a conversational or helping you with an assistant, or giving you an assistant that can help answer the phone, respond to message leads, respond to emails, etc. So that if you're not able to answer the phone or not able to answer the phone within 30 seconds, we can help you with that challenge as well, so that you can, again, convert more of those qualified leads that you're getting into new business for your company or for your business. So let me know what questions you have. You can reach us on first of all, you can text us if you'd like to at 619-304-5155. And we'll run a free audit. My team will spend probably an hour or two running an audit on your Google Local Service Ads and your Google Business Profile page in order to find out if we can actually help you or not. If not, we won't help you. But if we can, we will help you. If not, we'll help you understand what your challenges are so that you can go fix them yourself or do what needs to be done so that we can get to a point where we can actually, take you on as a client. You can also go to our website at accelerateyourmarketing.com. That's accelerateyourmarketing.com, like it shows there on the screen. And then we can also, you can also go to our school community. That's at school.com, SKOOL.com. You can see it on the screen as well. School.com/local lead labs. We have, let me look. 629 members in the group. So if you have any questions, you can continue the conversation there after this workshop ends in probably anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes from now. In the meantime, I will take any questions. Heedley is in the backstage, and if you have any questions, Heedley, you can either join live or you can put a comment below the video or send a private chat, Heedley, because you're actually in the stage here. If I can add you to the stage. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Ryan. Thanks for hosting this. And yeah. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm obviously not a girl.
No. Yeah, I apologize.
Point that out.
Apologize. I didn't know.
I didn't take offense. Don't worry. I'm way beyond that.
No, okay. I apologize. So where are you from?
Well, as you can tell from my accent, I'm from the UK, but
Yep.
I'm based in Europe, actually.
Okay. And where's your business, and how'd you find us?
Well, obviously school. How exactly on school? No idea. Might have been via YouTube, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm kind of doing the same as everyone else, and I've got a business partner in Texas, so we work together, and we're working mainly in the States because that's where, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And so he's Google Ads expert, but not local service ads. And in fact,
Okay.
he should be on the call rather than me, because I'm more the copy and sales guy, and he's the tech ads guy. So I'm really just trying to get to grips with local service ads. Presumably, I can ask you about how you sell to your clients, right? And sort of packages that you offer.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys are okay. So you're wanting to know how we would offer or package up our local service ads optimization to other businesses.
Right. Because without wishing to go into competition with you,
Yeah.
we would be doing the same.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. I mean, look, there's so many businesses out there that need help. Really, the biggest challenge is just getting the lead gen, the lead generation side handled. And I found a really good solution that sends leads via text that was actually forwarded to me. I get all these offers in my email. Can you take more leads? And and it's the usual. And I a lot of times I'm very reluctant until I actually have a colleague that uses the service and has had good results. So happy to report that I do have a way. Once I found a new way to actually generate leads from text messages that are sent out from this company that I just partnered with. But to answer your question though, and just so everybody is aware, I mean, so you're wanting to know like how we offer our services to businesses and how we package it up. So can you be more specific? Like, what are you looking for? Like what are you looking for? Like what we charge, or what?
Yeah, I mean, presumably you're basically using the local service ads as lead gen, right?
Yes.
So are you tending to offer like a setup fee and a monthly charge, or are you doing it pay per appointment or pay
Yeah.
per sale, whatever?
Okay. So, I mean, usually, and this is great if, and I've got another person, Jonathan, that just jumped in here. So Jonathan, you can definitely join the conversation as well. I'll add
That'll
you.
be my business partner.
Oh,
My
nice.
partner, yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Jonathan?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. Good to meet you. So, yeah. So, pay per click. And just for anybody else that's watching, we got about, 15 people watching from YouTube and Facebook and other places. If you are a local business owner, just to kind of give everybody an understanding, I'm going to show my phone here, because that's where Google Local Service Ads is really optimized for phone. And so I'm going to share my phone so that we can get everybody on the same page here. Let me see here. Why is it not Chrome tab window? Okay. Here, let me here 1 second. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it takes a little while okay, so there's my phone. Hold on, share. Okay, so you guys can see my screen, hopefully. So, like I was just talking to a business recently, and I'm gonna talk about some really interesting topics today. Once we talk about this stuff with Heedley and Jonathan, but here's when somebody's typing in. Is there a vertical that you guys specialize in or would like to focus on?
Go ahead, Jonathan. You can reveal.
Yeah. So we're actually trying to do several of them, but we're going to start with house cleaning.
Okay. Okay. So this is how somebody would typically find a business. So, they'd go to Google, go to Chrome, or they'd go to Google Maps and they would type in house cleaning or house cleaner near me. So I live in Palm City, Florida, which is like Southern Florida on the East Coast. And what's really cool is that Google they're making it much easier for people to be able to find businesses. What's listed at the top here, these are the Google Local Service Ads businesses that have been verified by Google. And what that means is typically obviously Google has verified their license. This company typically has got insurance, and Google's verified the insurance that's necessary that they need to have. And then a lot of times, or sometimes, there's a background check that's done. So it's everything that Google Maps wasn't. Google Maps, it was like the Wild West, just like anything when it first starts. It's like, we take all comers, everybody that wants to set up a Google Maps page basically in the beginning could, because there was no verification process really. And so what ended up happening is it was like the Wild West. And what ended up happening is that a lot of lead generation companies like mine and yours, they would set up a fake business and they would just sell the leads, which is one of the questions that you had, is how do you charge for it? It can be a very lucrative way to do it. Although I would say if you're going to choose a business or a vertical, I would not choose house cleaning if you wanted to sell leads, because they're not worth as much as, like, let's say a personal injury lead. A PI lead is going to cost anywhere between $200 and $1,000 per lead, if they're good leads, so if they're pre-qualified, then you could pay even north of that, maybe even $1,500, mesothelioma leads. I mean, you're talking, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. So, whereas with the deep, a house cleaner lead, you might, I don't know, maybe $15, $20, $30. I don't know. It all depends on what the business is able to generate in terms of revenue from those leads that you're selling them. The way that we typically do it is we typically charge a monthly fee, and that fee can vary anywhere from $300 up to $1,000 or more per month. And then we typically charge a setup fee of around $1,000 to set up the page. Now, just like anything else in this world that you do, I mean, it really does matter if the business does have a lot of experience running or doing whatever it is that they're trying to do. Just like if I'm trying to get a vasectomy, I'm going to go to the guy that's done 100,000 vasectomies. I don't want anybody, messing around down there that hasn't, I don't want to be the guy's first, put it that way. I'd rather be his, 100,001, different surgery. So what you can do is you can, model what we've done and, charge a setup fee. It's worth it because, look, if you set up a business in the wrong way in the beginning, unlike Google pay-per-click, and I'm going to show you guys, so hopefully here's the PPC. So see right here, this home glow, this is PPC, and it's pay-per-click. So it's literally pay-per-click. So when I click this and I go to same day, it just charged them. They just got charged $1 or whatever for that click. That's different than me going, hey, Yorlani's cleaning service, I want to call them. And so I'm going to click to call. And then what's going to happen is if I call them, and if I'm a qualified lead that called during their office hours or their open time, then and only then would Yorlani's be charged. They're not charged per click. Okay. So it's important that everybody understands that distinction. It's very different. And this is the reason why business owners really prefer these type of leads. Number one, another reason why is because you'll notice you've got social proof right in the ad. You've got the reviews, you've got some authority because it shows how many years that the business has been in business. You can also see there's specificity that it serves Palm City, and there's a little bit of scarcity in that there's only 3 of them that actually show up here. So there's a lot of psychological triggers that go into this, and this is why really Google has done a great job. There's also authority because they're right at the top of Google. And also there's some authority because when you click on them, they've got this little verified badge. So there's authority there. So there's all kinds of psychological triggers that Google is engaging. Now, here's one of the reasons why, and I keep talking about this, and I'm going to, talk about this, and then, I'll see if you guys have any other questions, but this is the reason why I recommend if you're an agency owner and you're trying to manage Google local service ads, that one of the things that you do is that you set up a AI agent to help the businesses, because if you do not help the businesses by helping them answer the phone, then you're really doing a disservice, because one of the main ranking factors, or one of the reasons why your Lenny's is showing up here at the top, is it's the 3 R's. It's reviews, radius, response rate. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure, and this is being recorded, so you guys can always go back and watch this on YouTube or whatever. I don't know if you're taking notes. It looks like you are, Jonathan, but I mean, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a system for your clients to get reviews on a consistent basis, meaning at least I would say 2 reviews per week. And then the other thing is that they've got to answer all calls that come in from the Google local service ads platform, because Google is recording all the calls and listening to all the calls, so they know when the call is answered and not. That all the calls, and by the way, message leads, because there's actually 3 ways that somebody can schedule or can engage with a business from the local service ads platform. One is through a call, another is through a message, and the third is by just booking an appointment. There's a book now button that you can also use as well. But and sometimes what'll happen is the business will pay different prices for each type of lead. Typically, they pay less for a message lead, and maybe even a different price for a booking lead. So each one has a different value. The key is to make sure that all calls and all message leads are responded to within 30 seconds. Now, what we've set up, and is over the past 2 years, we've set up a software that we can white label as well. We've set up a software that can respond to any inbound message lead and any inbound voice call with an agent, so that basically if the humans at your Lenny's, let's say they can't answer in 15 seconds, then what will happen is that an AI agent will then kick in and take the call, so that Google sees that all the calls are being handled within 30 seconds. So, and Google is paying attention, and you know that they are. And by the way, here's those message leads. You can see somebody can actually, just click and send a message to this business. Now, the other thing is look, this problem of leads coming in at a higher volume is only going to get worse, because what you can do is Google's making it very easy for you just to click a button here and send this lead to up to 4 businesses. And look at, here's the other 2 businesses that it's sending it to, in addition to the one. But here's the reason why it's only going to 2, is because there's only 2 businesses that actually take message leads. So this is why, I mean, it's silly that these businesses do not turn on message leads, because they're just giving up opportunities to actually get new business, because there's only 2 businesses that take message leads. And typically businesses don't do this because they're just not designed to take those type of leads, because they're so used to taking them over the phone. So what I would suggest is turn on the message leads and have an AI agent respond to those message leads for you. They're just as good as a human, probably better. They can identify everything that you want to be said to qualify somebody before the agent would actually even schedule an appointment. But again, the number of leads going to your business is only going to increase because of these type of scenarios that Google is giving people, where you can just click a button and that lead goes to 4 businesses at the same time. So that's number one. And then the other thing is, and I didn't see it here, but you can actually, Google will make it where they make it to where you can actually, somebody's trying to call me. That's why I'll turn it back on here in a second so you guys can see my phone. But there's actually a way, and you probably are aware of this, or maybe you're not. But what's interesting is that Google has made it so that you can click a button and you can use Google's agent on their end as a consumer to call up to 4 or 5 businesses to get a quote. So literally you've got Google's agent potentially calling your agent, and those 2 agents having a communication. But my point in saying this is that basically, people can hire for free a digital assistant from Google to go and do their dirty work, get price quotes and other things. So again, just another reason why it would be important to have an AI agent on your end, because the volume of these inbound calls and message leads is only going to increase over time. So,
and Ryan, is that done through GHL, just straight into the numbers ported in there?
Go high level? No. What you mean when I click this? The right?
No. Like, if you're running the ads for a client, do you then forward the whatever number they've got there through to the GHL number, like as a second fallback option?
Well, so we actually have set up our own workflow. We've set up our own call flow. So we purchase the number through Twilio, and then what we do is we give you that number, and the person the prospect would call that number. And if the person does not get a hold of a human, then it forwards over to our AI, if that's what you're asking. So we don't use Go High Level's AI. We've developed our own software, and we've got our own call flow that we've built. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
And you were talking earlier about the SMS and how you do outreach on that. Can I ask you about that?
Yeah.
So you just run a bunch of verified numbers that they are cell phone numbers, mobile numbers, not landlines, and you just send them a message and say, what?
Oh, you mean like when I do this? You mean when
when you do outreach to get your clients?
Oh, good question. So when we do our outreach, so I've hired an agency that specializes in that, and we can talk offline about that if you'd like. I mean, I can refer you to them. They're really good. I mean, I've used cold outreach. I've used cold email outreach, and this is the first time I've used cold text messaging outreach. And I mean, this is the first day that they turned it on at 10 a.m., which is only about, I'm Eastern time, which is about 4.5 hours ago. And we do use Go High Level for our CRM. So that, they actually send the leads to our Go High Level, and this agency that does the lead gen, and they also will give you a Go High Level account on their Go High Level. But I mean, I've gotten numerous leads. I'm sending an estimate to a guy that I just talked to today, and it works really good. So that lead, as like lead gen is everything. It's the lifeblood.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be happy to, would welcome a chat in the school group or wherever you want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Just message me or whatever will work for you. Now are you guys offering Google Business Profile optimization down here as well, or no? On the maps?
Yeah. So short version, Mark and I have been trying to run an agency together for years, and we've actually tried a few different things. We only recently came back around to local service businesses. Now, we had this idea that we got from somebody else, that a lot of local businesses, and we've plunged into this, and it sure is true, even people who are verified on Google My Business have terrible websites, right? Or sometimes don't have a website at all. So it sounds like we've gone back to the 90s, but we sort of revisited the fact that we're just going to offer straight up websites with some automation and such. one of the reasons we're here, so Mark and I are both in your school group. One of the reasons we're here is that we've also then been toying around with the idea of offering an AI solution. We've dabbled in some, not really been happy with the functionality or how hard it was to make it work well. But yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell what we're trying to do here. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But what I was wondering is, so you want to offer AI, Google local service ads, probably maybe pay per click, but it sounds like, offering the optimization to down here on the maps is not something that you're offering at this point. Is that correct?
No, I think there's something that I think we'd be stupid not to, even if it's just done at a loss leader type of level.
Yeah. And it pairs up pretty well with what I just described.
Totally. I mean, because look, in order for somebody to have a Google local service ads page, they have to have a Google business profile page. I was just talking to a business owner, an hour and a half ago, and he doesn't have either. And it turns out that there's not much competition for local service ads in his area. And so, so that's where you can really, when you pair that with the agent, it really is it's a nice combination for a small business owner, because a lot of these guys are wearing many hats and they just need support to get the phone answered. And then once you do that, then and they're getting more leads, then you can offer, what I usually do is then I'll offer the Google Maps optimization. But I'll get the leads flowing first from the local service ads. I'll set up their Google business profile page. I'll set up their local service ads page, charge for the setup of both. And then I'll turn on the local service ads, charge them the monthly for that, charge the setup for that, like I said. And then after we prove the concept of, lead generation through local service ads, then I'll do the maps optimization long-term. Yeah. So that's really it. So today, and do you guys have any other questions? Because I was going to go over some optimization strategies that will help business owners that watch this as well. And I think it was listed in the description, like what I was gonna cover. And one of the things I was gonna cover is this. It's pretty interesting. And any other questions that you guys have before I?
Just one. So when you go to offer LSA services, do you require any sort of minimum on their GMB first? Like, for example, I came across a note somewhere. It might have been in your content, I can't remember, that you can't run LSAs unless you have like 3 reviews. So do you help people who are starting from scratch, or only people who are some ways down the journey?
Yeah, it depends. And that's not for every vertical. Some verticals don't require that number of reviews, and it's constantly changing. We're partners with Google. We were selected by Google to be partners, probably, 4 or 5 years ago when it started. You really got to be a lead aggregator. And we also have access to the API for local service ads, which gives us the opportunity. And this is what's interesting for you guys, especially if you're going to focus on local service ads. It gives us the opportunity to do a lot more. And there's, for example, right now, you'd have to see a really high volume of leads to really see this happening. But and a high volume of, you have to have a lot of clients. But on local service ads specifically. But what we're seeing is about 5 to 10% of all message leads are being responded to by business owners. But what's happening is 5 to 10% of the message leads that are being responded to by businesses are not being delivered. The actual response, or the message response from the business owner back to the prospect, is not being delivered by Google via text. It's crazy. Are you seeing this as well?
No, I have not.
Yeah. So we've been seeing this for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. This is worldwide. Can you imagine? Like, literally 5 to 10% of all leads are not being responded to right now, or being sent by Google back to the from the business owner to the prospect after the prospect sent the first message to the business owner. So it looks like the business is not responding, but they are. And so the only way around it is to actually have access to the API, because the messages are not able to be delivered via text, but they can be delivered via the API. So as far as we know, we're the only agency in the world that can actually solve that problem right now. So
Fancy.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's the kind of stuff that, and you've got to be a lead aggregator in order to be able to, have like that access. I think Scorpion and a few other agencies have access to it, but yeah, we're really fortunate to have access to it. And it really does give us some insights as to, like what's happening. We get the newsletter from Google partner support we're supposed to get every month, but a lot of times they skip a month and they'll do it every other month. But what we find out is what verticals are being launched, which ones are coming up, all the specifics in terms of the number of that's what got me thinking about it, is you saying, you got to have a certain number of reviews in order to be able to have a local service ads page. And that's constantly changing for certain verticals and need to have a certain number of reviews and others don't. So it's, so it's kind of all around there. So hopefully that answers your question though, in terms of, what you're asking.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Yep. And then, so the first thing I wanted to talk about today, we're about halfway through here. If anybody has any questions, just post it below the video. And if anybody wants to join, what I'll do is I'm going to grab the link here and copy it. And I'll put this below in the comments for the video as well. And again, these guys came in through the school community, school.com/local lead labs. You can text us at 619-304-5155. And you can go to our website, accelerateyourmarketing.com. And let me just put this in the comments. I'm going to post this link. So if anybody else wants to join and ask any questions live, they can. And again, you can always, on the recording even as well, you can post any comments you have and my team will respond within 24 hours below the video, either live or on the recording of this video as well. So there's something that's interesting that's going on. So Google's getting more advanced, meaning they're using AI more, and in order to identify when certain searches are able to show up more specific businesses. And what I mean by that, and this is just for Google Maps. You could do this for Google Business Profile, but not for Google Maps. So let me go back here and show you what I'm talking about. So if what I'm referring to is not like, going to Google Chrome and then doing a search. What I'm saying is if I go to Google Maps and search for a business, what you can now do, or what Google is now able to do, is it's able to show very specific businesses based on what you type in. So if I type in, for example, vegan restaurant in Miami, what Google will do is it'll use these keywords. And my wife and I really like vegan restaurants, and we just found a new one because of this. It was very interesting. And we thought we'd searched, every single restaurant down there in Miami, and obviously we haven't. And what's happening, and so this is what's cool about this, is that it will use these search phrases, and what it'll do is I'm not able to scroll down. I don't know why on my phone right now. But what it'll do is it'll pull information from the reviews and from the description and from the Q&As, okay, for the business. So this is where you as a business owner can really generate more traffic for your business by specifically getting into your Q&A section and adding this type of content that you think people are going to type in, that would be like long tail keywords that would allow you to show up. So if you think that people are going to type in the word vegan to find you, then it would be good for you, it'd behoove you to create a Q&A that specifically mentions vegan or even raw vegan. Like I didn't find I typed in raw vegan. There's no businesses that actually have the word raw vegan in a Q&A or in their reviews at all in Miami, because I typed that in and no businesses showed up with that word. So If you are a raw vegan restaurant in Miami, I would definitely jump on that. I would put that word in your Q&A section for your Google Business Profile page. And, it's really easy to do. I mean, I can show you. Hopefully I'm logged in here to and I'm not, of course. Let me see. So I'll go here to so here, I'll show you let me pull up. So here's my business. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to type in either my business in the search bar. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can just, if you're logged into your Google Business Profile page, you can just type in my business. If you're logged into your Google Business Profile for that, where you manage that page, then you can pull up that page that you manage right there in the search results, or you can type in your business name and your city, and it'll pull up this, which is what you're looking for. Okay. You want to be able to manage your Google Business Profile page. And let me just type in accelerate marketing. Okay. So what you would want to do is you'd want to go to your Q&A section and add some Q&As there, or you'd want to go to your post and add a post about raw vegan, or ask for reviews and have somebody type in or post in there something about, with the keyword that you want to show up for on the maps. So I hope that makes sense. So that's new as of recently, that Google is able to show businesses that way, which is kind of cool, like Google Maps. So let me see if I can actually. I'm trying to hold on. Okay, let me see if I can. It's not allowing me to go up and down. Anyway, I don't know why it's not. Just trust me. It'll pull those keywords. It'll show you where it's actually pulling those keywords from. So that's number one. Any questions about that from you guys?
No, it looks good.
Okay, cool. And then I was gonna talk about the next thing here. So let me just pull up. There was okay. The other thing is everybody's talked about, again, we're talking about keywords. Keywords have been the way that Google has served up content over the past, who knows, 10, 15 years for people that are searching for businesses or any content on the internet for that matter. Now your photos are keywords on your maps and on your Google local service ads page, but primarily on your Google Business Profile page. So Google's AI analyzes the content of your images now. So if you say you do water heat repair, but only show photos of your van, you're going to lose out. So you need photos of actual water heaters in your photos for visual search engine optimization. Okay. So this is another, really big strategy that is just starting to gain some traction. And so I would definitely encourage you, and you can optimize your photos using tools like Google's Nano Banana. It's a very easy tool to update any photo that you have. And for example, if you wanted to add a water heater in a photo, you can do that. You can it's very easy to do. It's pretty amazing how quickly that can be done for any. And you can even add, for example, logos, but you don't want to change too dramatically the photos, because that's against Google's terms of service. So you definitely want to be careful about that. Google's very specific about that. So you don't want to, change photos too much. You could add something like a logo or branding to a shirt that somebody's wearing, et cetera, to make it look more professional. Or you could add something probably like a water heater or a commercial AC system as opposed to a residential, or something like that would be visual. So that's another another thing to now start incorporating into your images for your pages. Any questions or comments about that?
No, but that is smart thinking.
Right? I think it's pretty cool. So let me see, private chat. So drag. Okay. 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 So let me, drag the lower section up and then you can scroll. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Drag the lower. There you go. Yes, you got it. Thank you. Thank you. So here you can see vegan. See, it's highlighting the word vegan. Thank you, Heedley. And it pulled it right from the review on this one and the review on this one. And I don't know if this is a review or if it's the Q&A, but you can see it's highlighting vegan there. So very interesting. I'm glad I was able to show that to you. So thanks for that.
That's awesome. I do have a question about that. So referring to the idea that this is keyword based, Google is pulling that keyword from the reviews themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Friendly, attentive service and delicious vegan food. See?
Nice. So that's compelling reason to get reviews that actually say something rather than just like, it was a good job.
Oh yeah. No, we always, for sure. We recommend getting reviews that are follow the 3W testimonial construct. So it's what benefits a person got. Let's see. Yeah. What benefits the person got, where they came from. In other words, what was their previous experience? So there's some context there, and then why they would recommend you. So that's why we call it the 3W. So the key is to have some context of previous experience or so that you can give people, so that when somebody leaves a review, it's like, okay, I've tried to use another agency before, and what happened was I didn't have any onboarding. They didn't know what they were talking about with local service ads. I got no results. I didn't get any leads. Fast forward, I started working with Ryan, and the onboarding was smooth. The team was professional. I got onboarded very quickly. The communication is great, and we've got 10 leads in 10 days. So that context is key. And then, why they would recommend you and what benefits they received. Obviously, one of the benefits would be like, 10 leads in 10 days or, that sort of thing. And then why they'd recommend you. So as long as people use that, and then you can say, hey, would you do your best to incorporate this keyword? I wouldn't give them 2 or 3. I'd just give them 1, and then that way you can get your words in your reviews if you want. So that's what I recommend.
That's really smart. I love it.
Yeah. And then, okay. So, okay. This is interesting. So, there's been years, in the past that for years, businesses or agencies really have been talking to business owners about the dwell time for their website. Now that same dwell time applies to the Google Business Profile pages. The more time that people stare at your Google Business Profile page, the longer the more likely it is that you will rank. So this is really what businesses are looking for. They're looking for behavioral signals or interaction metrics. So the higher the interaction, the higher the ranking. In other words, the longer that somebody dwells on your Google Business Profile page or on one of your images on your Google Business Profile, all of that Google is able to see because you're on their platform. So Google can see all of that. I mean, when you go and you click and you're in their Google world here, I'm now in Google's world. I mean, I'm basically on Google's website right now. So they can see everything I look at. If I click on this image, they can see if, how much time I spend on this image. They can see if I go and I watch this video or not. How much time are people spending on the Google platform? That's what Google wants. And what's interesting, we can see, look at this. Look at how specific Google is getting here now. Know before you go. This is new. This is Google leveraging artificial intelligence in everything they do. So now you can get very specific. Even if you're not a vegan, try these cheese dishes, because this is what people are saying is amazing. Hit them up on Friday for a special, 2 apps and wine. So it's giving you suggestions from what people are talking about. And you can ask questions, and you can even say, here's some really good questions that Google would recommend that you ask. It's pretty amazing, like what you can do now with this platform, with Google, and what Google's allowing you to do with AI. So now, instead of having to click Ask AI, they're like, here, we're just going to put it front and center for you. we're gonna prompt you. We're gonna preempt you. We're gonna give you some suggestions, so you don't even have to click this button here. So so that's really it. Let me know what questions you guys have. Any other questions, Heedley or Jonathan?
I think I'm good for now. That was actually very helpful, though.
Okay, good. Yeah. So this is just, we're in the age of, obviously, of artificial intelligence and the AI helping us find things, and Google's leveraging it on their end as well in order to make the experience that you have. And this is why I really think that, that the Google, a lot of people are talking about Google losing market share to LLMs like ChatGPT. But look, there's one thing that Google has that they don't have, and they've got almost 15 years of data from almost every business in the United States. Every business almost in the US has submitted their information to the Google platform, the Google Business Profile platform, and they've submitted photos and videos, and it's been around. People are used to it. It's been around for 15 years. And also, Google, they've got so much revenue and income already coming in to build these additional uses of AI in their already built out platform. And they've got thousands of reviews on their platform. Look at this. 2,259 reviews for this Love Life Cafe. For probably for the past 10 years for that business. So, that's a lot of history that it's going to be tough for anybody to really supplant them, in terms of, being able to help people find what they're looking for, because Google's just got so much data out there on, the existing businesses that are there, or that are already here. So, but with that here, if you guys have any questions, like I said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. You can go there. You can go to our website again, accelerateyourmarketing.com. You can text us at 619-304-5155. You can go to our local lead labs as well, our community. I'll share my screen really quick one more time so you guys can see what that is. 1 second, entire screen. There we go. So this is our local lead labs community. You can get there by just going to school.com/local lead labs. And it's a great place to get your questions answered after these workshops that we have weekly. We do have a classroom where you can learn as much as you want there. There's all kinds of success stories, and you can start here. And I don't know if you guys have watched these videos, but they're pretty good. I've spent some time, probably 3 hours worth of content there, all for free. And then here's our calendar, so that you guys can see what's coming up. And yeah, we've got about 629 members now, and a pretty good community. And yeah, I would encourage you to join there, or just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and let us know what questions you have, and we'll see you next week.
That's awesome. One last question. You mentioned that there is a recording of this. Does that get posted into school somewhere?
Yeah. So here, it should be there. But also you can go to youtube.com/. youtube.com/@accelerateyourmarketing.com. That's where you'd want to go. This is our one of our channels. Yeah, and then you can go to the lives. You should see the lives. Here's all the lives right there. And you can also go to our. Hold on, you can go to our. We do have another channel. Google, I think it's the local service ads as well. So you can get the lives there as well. So yeah, and glad you guys joined. It definitely makes it better when there's people on. So I appreciate you guys joining and helping to ask good questions that everybody can benefit from.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll catch you in the school group.
Sounds good. Talk soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.